everyone, and welcome back to the Chill English channel, where learning English is easy, fun, and friendly. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake. Hey, Sophia, how are you today?
I'm doing really great. It's so nice to be here with all our wonderful listeners. And you, Jake?
I'm feeling fantastic too. Talking about English always makes my day better.
Absolutely. Today, we're talking about something everyone needs. How to introduce yourself in English. It can happen at school, at work, when traveling, or when meeting new people.
Yes, even simple introductions can feel a little scary in a new language. But don't worry, we're going to make it easy and fun.
Exactly. But first, friends, remember to like this episode, subscribe, and share it with someone who's learning English. Your support really helps us.
Thank you. So, Sophia, when someone wants to introduce themselves, what's the first thing they should say?
The first thing is always your name. You can say, "Hi, my name is Sophia," or "Hello, I'm Sophia." Simple and clear.
And then it's good to mention where you're from. I'm from Canada, or I come from a small town in Italy. This gives people a little idea about you.
Right. And after that, you can add one more detail, like your job, school, or hobby. For example, I'm a student, or I like reading books.
That's beginner-friendly and short. Don't worry about being perfect. Just say a few clear sentences and smile. Smiling helps you feel relaxed and confident, too.
Yes, smiling makes a big difference. And if you want to make your introduction sound a little more complete, we have a simple plan: present, past, and future.
Present is about now. Say your name, what you do, or what you study. For example, my name is Jake. I'm an English learner. I love learning new words.
Then past. You can say what you studied or where you grew up. I studied business at university. Before that, I worked in a small cafe.
And future is about your goals. I want to travel to new countries and meet new friends.
When you put it all together, it tells a small story. For example, "Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm from Italy. I love cooking and tried a new pasta recipe today, and it was delicious."
That's fun. It makes the conversation more interesting and shows your personality. People like little stories. It makes you memorable.
Exactly. And you can even ask a question at the end to make it a two-way conversation. For example, "I love baking. What about you? Do you like cooking too?"
That's a great tip. It's small, friendly, and helps start a real conversation. You don't need to speak perfectly. Just speak naturally and with a smile.
Right. Friends, try adding a small detail about your day or something you enjoy. Make it short and clear. Then add a simple question to connect with the other person.
And remember, the more you practice, the easier it gets. Don't be afraid to try again and again. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
That's true. The key is communication, not perfection. Speak with confidence and keep it simple.
Another tip, you can practice using the present, past, future structure, or just the short version. Both are great for beginners.
Okay, friends, let's give a quick example together. I'll go first. "Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm from Italy. I love cooking and tried a new cake today. What about you?"
And I can say, "Hello, I'm Jake. I'm from Canada. I enjoy hiking and went to a new trail this morning. Do you like hiking?"
Perfect. That's friendly, simple, and easy to remember. You can use it at school, in a cafe, or meeting new friends online.
That's right. The main idea is to speak clearly, add a small detail, smile, and feel confident. Even one short sentence every day helps a lot.
Friends, pause here and practice. Try saying your name, where you're from, and one thing you like or did today. Add a small question if you want. The more you practice, the easier it becomes.
And remember, it's okay if it's short. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try, smile, and enjoy speaking English.
Now that we've covered the basic introductions, let's talk about introducing yourself in more professional situations, like job interviews.
Ah, yes. That can feel scary because the first question is often, "Tell me about yourself." But don't worry, it's not as hard as it seems.
Exactly. The key is to focus on your skills, experience, and what makes you a good choice for the role. You don't need to tell your whole life story.
Right. And we can still use the present, past, and future idea. Present is now, past is your experience, and future is your goals.
For example, "Hi, my name's Jake. I've worked in customer service for 3 years. I enjoy helping people and solving problems. I want to join a team where I can grow and learn more skills."
That's short, professional, and easy to remember.
And it shows the company what you can do without going too deep into your life story.
Right. Another tip is to read the job description before the interview. Think about what the company needs and focus on one or two strengths that match the role, like teamwork, organization, or communication.
For example, "Hi, I'm Sophia. I studied accounting and worked as a bookkeeper for 2 years. I'm very organized and enjoy working with numbers. I hope to join your team and help manage financial reports."
That's perfect. Clear, confident, and professional.
And don't forget to smile. Even in a job interview, a small smile makes you feel more confident and looks friendly.
Exactly. Friends, you don't need to memorize a long speech. Just think about 3 short points: present, past, and future. Keep it simple.
And it's okay to practice out loud. You can record yourself or say it in front of a mirror. The more you repeat it, the easier it becomes.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect. Or at least it makes speaking English much easier. Now, let's move to casual situations like meeting new people at a party, a class, or on vacation.
These moments are more relaxed. You don't need to sound formal, just friendly and clear.
In casual conversations, you can talk about hobbies, interests, or something interesting you did. For example, "Hi, I'm Jake. I enjoy hiking and exploring new coffee shops."
Or, "Hi, I'm Sophia. I love photography. I took pictures of the mountains last weekend." Adding a small detail makes the introduction memorable.
And you can also ask a question after your introduction. It turns your introduction into a conversation. For example, "I love playing the piano. What about you? Do you play any instruments?"
Exactly. This makes it two-way, not just you talking. It shows interest in the other person.
And you can even share a fun fact, like, "I can juggle," or "I have a dog that dances when I play music."
That's right. Small surprises make you memorable. People enjoy learning something unique about you.
That's right. Friends, try it now. Think of your name, one thing you like, and the small question for the other person.
Yes, and remember, short, friendly, and clear is the goal. Don't worry about mistakes.
Mistakes are natural. Even native speakers make them. What matters is trying and speaking with confidence.
And for beginners, just 1 or 2 sentences are enough. Say your name, where you're from, and one hobby.
For example, "I'm Jake. I'm from Canada. I enjoy reading comics. Do you like reading?"
Or, "I'm Sophia. I'm from Italy. I love baking. What about you?" Simple, friendly, and easy to remember.
And you can practice this every day. Say it while walking, in front of a mirror, or record your voice. It will help your speaking skills improve quickly.
And remember, speaking English is a skill. Like any skill, it gets better with practice. The more you try, the more natural it feels.
Exactly. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on being friendly and clear.
Now let's review a complete casual introduction using the tips we just discussed. "Hi, I'm Sophia. I love painting, and I went to a small art exhibition last weekend. Do you like drawing?"
And a short version is, "I'm Jake. I enjoy football. Do you play sports?"
Both are simple, friendly, and perfect for everyday situations. You can choose long or short versions depending on your comfort level.
Friends, the important thing is to keep it natural. Smile, speak clearly, and try to connect with the other person. Even small details make a difference.
Yes, and remember, practice a little every day. One short introduction is enough to start. Repeat it, improve it, and enjoy speaking English. So, Jake, earlier we were talking about the idea of planning a trip. I want to ask you something. Do you usually plan every single detail of your vacation? Or do you prefer to be more spontaneous?
Good question. Honestly, I'm somewhere in the middle. I like to plan the big things like flights and hotels because I don't want to be stressed when I arrive. But when it comes to activities, I like to keep things open. Sometimes the best experiences happen when you don't plan them. What about you?
I'm more of a planner, I admit. I like to make lists, what to pack, what to do each day, even where to eat. But at the same time, I know vacations are about relaxing, so I try not to make the schedule too strict. Otherwise, it feels like work, not fun.
That's true. And speaking of packing, people always wonder, what should I pack? For English learners, here are some useful phrases. I need to pack my suitcase. Don't forget your passport. I'm bringing sunscreen and a hat. These are all simple but very common phrases.
Yes, and here's another one. I think I packed too much. I always say that when I'm at the airport and my bag feels like it weighs 100 kilograms.
Oh, same here. I once had to pay extra because my suitcase was overweight. At the check-in counter, the lady said, "I'm sorry, sir. Your bag is too heavy." And I was like, "Oh no, really?" So it's also useful to know phrases like, is there a weight limit for luggage? Or how many bags can I check in?
Good point. And don't forget carry-on luggage. Sometimes airlines are very strict. You might hear the staff say, your bag is too big for the cabin. You need to check it.
Exactly. And that can be stressful, especially if you have important things in there like your laptop.
Let's also teach some phrases for when you're actually at the airport. For example, where is the check-in desk? Or can you show me the way to security?
And don't forget immigration control. The officer usually asks, what is the purpose of your visit? You can answer, I'm here on vacation, or I'm traveling for business.
Yes, that's such an important one. Many learners feel nervous, but the questions are usually very simple. They might ask, how long will you stay? And you can say, I'll be here for 2 weeks.
Or, do you have a return ticket? And you can answer, yes, here it is.
Exactly. So it's good to practice these short, clear answers before your trip. It makes you feel more confident.
Totally. And here's a tip. Don't speak too fast. Even if you're nervous, take a deep breath and answer slowly. The officers are used to hearing people with different accents, so it's okay.
Right. Let's add a fun situation too. Imagine you're waiting at the gate, and the announcement comes, ladies and gentlemen, flight number 452 to Paris is delayed. Ugh, delays.
Oh, yes, that happens a lot. Then you might hear, we apologize for the delay. That means they are sorry for the delay. It's a polite phrase.
Exactly. And if you want to ask the staff, you can say, excuse me, how long is the delay? Or, when will we board the plane?
Nice. And when it's finally time, you'll hear, now boarding rows 20 to 30. That means only people sitting in those rows can get on the plane first.
Yeah, and then you can show your boarding pass and say, here you go.
It's such a big adventure, from planning to packing to checking in and finally boarding. Each step has its own phrases to learn.
Absolutely. And if our listeners practice these, they'll feel much more confident at the airport.
Should we stop here for today, Sophia?
Yes, I think this is a good place. We've covered planning, packing, and the airport process. Next time, we can talk about arriving at the destination, hotels, and sightseeing.
Sounds perfect. Thanks for listening, everyone. And remember, practice makes progress.
See you in the next part.